The Detroit Red Wings have made a sneaky good signing and an insurance signing as Steve Yzerman continues to make moves ahead of what's going to be a very busy trade deadline for this team. But not only that, we have multiple other updates on the team as head coach Todd McLellan has spoken out on what needs to change for this team to find success ahead of the Olympic break. We're going to break it all down in this episode of Red Wings Digest. But guys, before we get into all the news today, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. The support on the channel, a brand new channel, by the way, over the weekend has been unbelievable. Over 300 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you that have hit that button and continue to watch and enjoy the content. The comments have been unbelievable. Thank you so much. And we have a new goal of 500 subscribers. But let's waste no more time. Let's get right into it. The Detroit Red Wings have signed Sheldon Dries to a 2-year, 2-way contract extension. And this one is very interesting to me. I think it's sneaky good and a good depth signing just in case there are injuries the rest of the way. And we know that Steve Yzerman, there's a real possibility he doesn't actually make any trades this deadline. I think there is some big moves coming, but there is that possibility at the end of the day. And I think that you want some depth on your team. Now, if you take a look at Sheldon Dries' statistics this year, they don't exist, as you can see, because he hasn't played at the NHL level this year. But in the past, he played almost a full season with the Vancouver Canucks last season. He had 17 points. He's a smaller-ish, 5'10", 182-pound player, but he plays with a lot of grit, if you want to call it that. He plays a heavy game, and he's been putting up some decent numbers at the AHL level, and he's been playing with the Grand Rapids Griffins, who are having a fantastic season so far. So a great signing just to keep a guy like this around in your organization for the next 2 years on a 2-way contract. You can call him up. He can be sent be sent down to Grand Rapids, and you have the flexibility with him. So don't mind the move. Seems like a bit of a glue guy. He likes to throw with the body. I'm going to get to that in a few minutes as well. So don't hate the contract. You can see the contract breakdown, and stay tuned to the end, by the way. I'm going to have some comments from Todd McLellan, the state of the team, all that stuff. Some interesting stuff in terms of a retirement that's coming up too, which is pretty crazy. So we'll get to that. But Sheldon Dries, you can see here, 2-year contract, $875,000 over the course of 2 years. And this is the full salary cap breakdown from Puckpedia. I'll make it bigger for you guys to see here. It's exactly the same year 1 and year 2. So 2-way contract. Don't mind this at all. And again, he has 15 goals, 29 points in 34 AHL games so far this year on a pretty good Grand Rapids Griffins team. So I like it. Sneaky good signing. Keep him around as some depth. Maybe he comes in, he gets plugged into the lineup for the Red Wings coming up here a little bit, especially because it's a condensed schedule this year. If you're well in a playoff spot, which I want to get to as well in terms of the standings, maybe you take a look at this and you go, hey, maybe this guy's going to get in. We're going to rest some players near the end of the season, because if you look at the Atlantic Division standings, pretty tight. It's pretty tight. But if you can create some separation, if you can start playing up to the standard of this team this entire season to this point before you lose 3 in a row and you look horrible against the Colorado Avalanche, we'll get to that as well. If you can create some type of separation where you can at least lock up one of the first 3 spots, the divisional spots, in the playoff race, then maybe you can start resting guys. So I think it's an interesting signing, a little bit of a sneaky good signing. Let me know how you feel about that all in the comments. Sheldon Dries has been signed to a 2-year, 2-way contract. Now, to get to some other stuff on the Red Wings in just a second too, I just wanted to point this out. He had an assist yesterday. That was yesterday. This is from Hockeytown West podcast, and from the Hockeytown West podcast as well, laid a booming hit the other day, and the gloves go flying and everything like that. So a pretty physical player that could be plugged into the lineup here. But speaking of the lineup, I feel like there's one player this team is missing in particular right now. I think you all know where I'm going with this, and I'll get to it in just a second. But the team has not been playing well. They've lost 3 in a row. Searching for answers right now is the sentiment from head coach Todd McLellan, which you never really want to hear that. But post-game yesterday after the Colorado Avalanche, Helen posted this article, and there's some interesting quotes in this article that I want to get to on the Red Wings and the current state of the team from some notable people, on the team. And this is from Dylan Larkin. He said, "We just didn't have a response to their offense. Obviously a 5-0 loss yesterday. Not a good result. And I know Colorado's been good all year, but they haven't been that good recently. They've kind of fallen off and they look disinterested." But anyway, Larkin went on to say they got what they like to do, and we kind of just watched a little bit. There's a lot of puck watching, and you know what? They got a point the other night against Washington, but it wasn't a good result either. it really wasn't a good result. So Dylan Larkin coming out, the captain, speaking about how they're just kind of puck watching right now. And that's not, you don't want to really want to hear that from your captain. So they, they did not have a response. And I thought this one was very interesting from head coach Todd McLellan. He said there was a lack of energy, a lack of drive. And I wonder if there's a mentality of like, hey, the Olympics are here. We're just coasting to the break. You can't do that. You can't drop 3 in a row when teams like Montreal, Tampa, Boston are continuing to win night in, night out. You can't do that because you're going to give up your spot. And before you know it, you're going to end up in the wild card. And then you have to play Tampa. You don't want to be in that situation. So lack of energy, lack of drive, lack of execution. The most damning part of this quote to me is the bottom. We've got to fix something. This team has been good all year, and now you're searching for answers like this. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. I do want to say that, but that is a quote. That is a quote. And do I believe this team's going to get back on track? Yeah, absolutely. Do I believe this team's going to make the playoffs? Yes, absolutely. So I don't think you have to worry too much, but this mindset of just get me into the Olympic break, and they're kind of limping into the Olympic break like this, I don't think it's very good. But maybe they get a refresher. A lot of these guys are going to be off for 2 weeks. DeBrincat, for some reason, is going to be off for 2 weeks as well. He should probably be on the Olympic team with the way he's been having, or the way he's been going this season. He's been having a fantastic season. You can see this. I mean, he's 23rd in points in the entire league, and he's 6th in goals in the entire league. So he was left off the Olympic team. So he'll be at home resting, licking his wounds. Same with the rest of the team. Maybe they'll come back with some new energy. So maybe it's just a break that this team needs. They've played a lot of hockey. So has everyone around the league, but I don't think it's all doom and gloom, but you do have to find some answers, and you can't just, limp your way into the Olympic break. The other thing I wanted to bring up in the game, thought this was interesting. Nathan MacKinnon, just wanted to point it out, having a bit of a temper tantrum. Thought that was interesting. Trying to rip or break DeBrincat's arm. Not cool, but obviously not going to face any type of discipline for that. But before I wrap up here, I think this team is severely at this point missing Simon Edvinsson. And that is because, there's a couple factors, and I think you guys, hearing me say that are going to be like, duh, of course they are. He is fantastic. I mean, he ranks in a high percentile in the league in terms of blocks. He's one of the best shot blockers in the entire National Hockey League this year. But not only that, he likes to throw the body. He's a calming force back there, 22 years of age, and he's going to miss time through the Olympic break. So he's not coming back yet, but they will have him back after the Olympic break. And I think that just goes to show how big of a piece this actually is to this lineup. So they are severely missing this guy. And you can see this: hits, takeaways, blocks. This guy is a top player, and he's averaging 22 minutes as a 22-year-old, 22 minutes a night. So he's been fantastic, good plus minus as well. And again, you're not expecting anything really flashy from him offensively or anything like that, but it's the other intangibles that he brings to the table. He's been super effective, and this team is severely missing him right now. Last thing before we wrap up here, guys, Paul Woods is calling it a career. The longtime radio voice of this Detroit Red Wings team, he is calling it a career at the end of this season, and he spoke out and he said, it's time. It's been 40 years. I have family things I want to do. I've got grandkids now, and I want to be able to spend more time with them. And over the course of the last couple of years, we've seen Sam Rosen, the voice of the New York Rangers. Joe Bowen is retiring at the end of this year for the Toronto Maple Leafs. We've seen some legends of the game, some legendary voices of the game retiring, and he is another one this season. So congrats to Paul once again on a fantastic career. He is retiring at the end of this year, and wouldn't that be something if the Red Wings can go on a bit of a playoff run for Paul and make it a very interesting retirement, a very exciting retirement for him. So shout out to him. Let me know how you feel about everything in the comments below, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything Detroit Red Wings.